and 36 seconds to go in the game. That's a lot of time to kick a field goal. Austin, as I was saying before the play, as a Raiders fan, if there's any Raiders fans out here, you know what I'm about to say. Travis Kelce is a menace to society when it comes to the Las Vegas Raiders. Today, he has 4 touchdowns, the most probably ever.
He has 4? Holy shit.
4 touchdowns, Austin. Absolutely absurd. The Chiefs looking to punt it right now. They do punt it. Thank God. I was hoping that wasn't a fake because I was going to fucking freak out. To the 5 yard line. So the Raiders are going to take it at the 5 yard line, 2:29 to go. Hopefully getting a field goal at least. We're only down by 1. Just need a field goal.
Is there
But
anyone out there? Because it's getting harder and harder to breathe.
30 career game-winning drives in the fourth quarter is Derek Carr. Also passed for his 200th touchdown in his career. So he's looking to set some fucking history. DC and the C stands for comeback, if you know what I mean. But Travis Kelce is a menace to society when it comes to the Raiders. 4 touchdowns today. They do not know how to guard him. And honestly, he's all but 2 points of the Chiefs' points tonight. It's just sad. It's very sad.
So what do you think the reasoning behind going for 2 was? Do you think it was the analytics play? Do you think the Raiders were thinking they didn't have enough to go down and win the game at another point?
I think they were just trying to be sneaky and kind of throw the Chiefs off guard and be like, yeah, we're going to go for 2. We're going to tie the game up or we're going to take the lead instead of tying the game up, which I really don't understand. At the end of the day, take the points. They ended up risking it and going for it. That's a fucking first down. I feel like I have what's that? It's like the ticks. What
Hmm.
is that?
Tourette's?
Tourette's. I feel like I have Tourette's when I'm watching a Raiders game. Raiders just got a first down with Josh Jacobs, got him over the first down yard line, so we're good there.
So obviously no one likes losing games. You know, I woke up yesterday at 6 a.m. to watch the Packers get beat by the Giants in London. But I will say, Tyler, and you and the Raiders defense, it seems like they've kind of found their identity now. They're getting Josh Jacobs
Yeah,
a lot more involved.
absolutely.
Losing to the Chiefs, in this close of a game, they hung in there. I saw earlier it was 17-0 they were up. So obviously, they're doing some stuff right, and you got to be happy that they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the reason why the Raiders are being so successful right now is because of the run. The offensive line is opening up a lot of gaps for Josh Jacobs to maneuver through and be successful through. I mean, the guy has probably damn near close to 130 or 175 rushing yards. He's having an absolute beast of a game right now. So that's really what establishes the Raiders at that point is once they get the run game established, then they get, the pass game established where Devontae gets open, where Matt Collins gets open, Hunter Renfrow maybe. A lot of what hurt was Darren Waller went down in the first quarter. He didn't even end up playing, played 6 snaps. But Josh Jacobs, honestly for me, Austin, is the MVP of this game for me. He has to be very close to 200 yards. Absolutely taking the ball or the wind out of the Chiefs' sails.
Mm.
Whenever they get momentum, Josh Jacobs is right there to take it right out. So, I mean, he's been playing a fucking killer game. And honestly, Austin, it's contract year for him. So he's got to ball out. He knows exactly what's in it for him and what he's got to do.
Yeah, so I don't know if no, I think I was talking to Connor and Mark, but so I just traded my cousin's league. I had Fournette. I traded him away for Josh Jacobs. I think they're
Smart.
So at the time I was like, he had a good week. I think they're gonna start getting him more involved. Fournette goes off yesterday, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But not only is Jacobs having a good game, but the trade didn't get processed till Sunday morning, and the guy coincidentally who I traded with, I was playing and he didn't start Fournette, so I ended up winning pretty easily, which was pretty chill.
Yeah, I mean Josh Jacobs, I would suspect him to probably have a really good upside the rest of the year because it looks like the Raiders are starting to get the offensive rush game into motion. Their line is subpar, but Josh Jacobs is getting a lot of room ahead of him. McDaniels is doing a great job of getting him in there and getting him open gaps to run through. As Hunter Renfrow is just a yard short of the first down right there. They're on the 20s, or no, they're on the 32. It looks like they're marching down the field, 2nd and 1, but as they throw an incomplete pass, you'll have to see it, 3rd and 1. But Josh Jacobs has to be my MVP for the Raiders today. Austin, it's not really the Raiders defense fault at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day. A lot of it was how long the defense was on the field in comparison of how long the offense was on the field for the Raiders. They came out, 17-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was like, "Oh, 17-0 Raiders." And then they end up, allowing it to be 17. Josh Jacobs first down, love to see it. They ended up letting it be 20-17 or 20-10 at halftime, 20-10. So the Chiefs get the ball back at halftime, then they score 2017. It's just a lot of the Raiders being on defense a lot of the times where they haven't been able to catch their breath. They look lackadaisical, and therefore it takes away from them playing as well as they should. I think the Raiders missed out on a lot of opportunities, small opportunities, those minute plays, those 1 or 2 plays where they could have changed the game. There was a play in the first quarter where Matt Collins literally caught a ball off his chest, didn't even use his hands, missed the easy touchdown.
Mm.
It's just small plays like that will really make a difference throughout the game, and that's what's really been hurting the Raiders today.
So other than getting Josh Jacobs more involved, do you see anything that the Raiders were doing differently that might have helped him out in this game?
I really feel like they oh, nice catch by Hunter, get there. Hunter Renfrow, 8 yard reception. But I think a lot of it, what the Raiders could succeed on is actually pass rushing. And we've had this problem the past few years, honestly. The Raiders are almost too afraid to pass rush in certain situations. Like they ended up pass rushing like 7 guys at one point, ended up getting a 4th down passing completion from Patrick Mahomes, or a 3rd down passing completion. I think they need to do that more. They need to trust their defense, rush the defenders, and get those easy kind of incompletions where your defense isn't trying so hard, but it's just hard to watch sometimes, because like sometimes they're rushing 3, sometimes they're rushing 5, sometimes they're rushing 7. So
Mm-hmm.
I think if they were smart about how much they're rushing and getting, oh, Devontae wide open, oh my God,
Missed him.
caught, first down, and he got out of bounds, dude. Oh my God, he's the best wide receiver in the league. He's too good. He's too good.
You want to show the viewers your new present that you got yourself?
Which one?
The one you were waving in my face a few seconds ago.
Signed, authentic Devontae Adams jersey. Away, cut. It's just like perfect for today. 2 feet in bounds too. He said 2 feet in bounds. Can I help you again?
Very
He's
nice,
just.
very nice.
Oh no, they might say he juggled it.
So I'm a little bit behind you. I just saw a catch. I mean, Devontae, obviously, I'm a little sour about what happened, transpired in this offseason, but definitely elite. Arguably the best receiver in the league. Okay, yeah. I don't know if he had possession before both those feet touched. Tyler's on his last leg right now. This stream of the No Look podcast brought to you by Miller Lite. Great tasting, less calories, Pilsner, Miller Lite
Miller
beer.
Lite. I mean, Max Crosby, a fucking great defensive game.
Yeah, it's incomplete. Sorry
Rushing the passer. What is that? 4th down then?
I don't know. I'm
Why'd
three.
you say
I'm
incomplete? And
because I'm watching the replay. I'm 3 time zones back you in real life and on this fucking broadcast because I'm watching on a I'm
don't be a
watching on a
fucking
stream.
scumbag, dude.
Well, I'm just saying I'm watching it. He was still juggling it before he got. He didn't even get any feet in after he juggled it. Obviously, official review under 2 minutes in the second and fourth quarter. So the refs are on the
Yeah,
Microsoft
it's
Surface
incomplete.
right
They're
now.
going back. They're going back. Austin, a precursor.
Mm.
I bet the Raiders $100 plus 7.5.
Oh, that's a lock.
I hope so. I mean,
They're not gonna go down if they don't score here. Then the Chiefs are just gonna kneel it out.
so it's 4th and 1, Austin. 47 seconds left. Raiders have no timeouts. What are you doing?
I mean, Chiefs have a lot of big guys up front. I don't like running the ball. I also don't like putting it in Carr's hands. I think if you're gonna go ahead and play mind games like you were going for two, I like Renfro in this situation, or maybe a little bit of Darren Waller.
Darren Waller's out, so.
So, yeah.
Oh, pass interference!
Did they call it?
No, they didn't.
So that's game?
Yeah.
Oh no. Live reaction, Tyler. Raiders coming off of a heartbreaking loss. How do you feel after this one?
Sad. Very sad. That's not pass interference, bro. Oh my god. Hunter Renfro just ran into fucking. Oh my
Hey, I
god.
called it. I said Renfro.
Renfro just ran into Devontae Adams.
Where was Carr even throwing the ball?
He was throwing it to fucking Adams because he was wide open. Oh my god.
Well, Tyler, as the result of a few plays and games this past weekend, I'm honestly surprised that wasn't roughing the passer. We saw what happened with Brady. Who else was it? Carr actually benefited from one tonight that was a little bit of questionable. This one looks like he just gets shoved down in the ground. So they're running. Okay. Oh yeah, they just. I mean,
I'm turning off the TV before I get even more mad.
if there's a picture in the dictionary next to Raiders football, that should be it right there. Renfro running into his teammate Devontae Adams. I mean, what kind of play call is that? Like,
I feel like that's almost like the Renfro go under Adams go up, like almost
they're
set the
trying to do a
pick.
pick play or something, but
It's 4th and 1, Austin. It's 4th and 1.
yeah,
Do an out route like anybody else. An out route, it does the same thing.
yeah, that one's
Get the
tough.
fucking first down.
I mean, I don't know if they were trying to get a little too tricky there. Obviously, someone
Austin,
was off on
this
the
goes
route.
back. This goes back. Raiders scored a touchdown. Josh McDaniels decides to go for fucking 2 points instead of fucking 1. This is exactly what happens. Go for fucking 1. Take the points. You're up 30-30. Tied ball game. Now look, your defense fucking stops them. You have the utmost chance to do whatever the fuck you want. 30-30. And you decide, let's go for fucking glory, not guts. And fucking take the win instead of fucking tie the ball game and play another day against against the Chiefs, who just beat the fucking Bucks handedly. I was at that game handedly, and try and be a hero, Josh McDaniels. Try and be a hero after you win your first fucking game as the Raiders coach. Instead of doing that, how about we fucking tie the game and then go down and fucking score a field goal? All right? You're not there. You're not him. You're not him. How's that for a clip, Austin?
Is
How's
that
that?
is that all of it? You got
How's that?
got
Okay.
anything else brewing up inside you?
How's that for a clip?
I think we got something there. Um, so Tyler, now obviously we talked about before the season, the AFC West was supposed to be one of the best divisions ever. Chiefs move on to 4-1. Chargers scrapping their way to 3-2. Broncos 2-3. Raiders, as you know, 1-4. Tyler at the bottom of the division. Do you still have hope? I mean, obviously they played the Chiefs pretty well. The Broncos, Chargers don't look great. Do you still have hope for the Raiders to somehow squeeze into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think you look at our next games. We have a bye week next week, regroup. Then we have, I believe, I forget who's next, but I know it's someone. Then the Saints, then the
So you
Jaguars, then the
got
Texans,
Texans, Saints, Jags,
Texans, Saints,
Colts,
Jags,
Broncos,
Colts. Perfect.
Seahawks.
That's
So
all
that's
the
a it's a
that's
pretty
it.
favorable schedule right
Yeah.
there.
So I think I honestly, Austin, this was a big week for us. If we could get a win out of this, beat the AFC West favorite, obviously that would be huge for us because then we got a lot of favorable matchups. But we're gonna ride into it bye week, and I hope we go 5-0. I mean, we have the opportunity to go 5-0 against those teams that you just named. Not that difficult. A lot of those are away. Jacksonville, New Orleans. I might go to those games. I might not. We'll see. But I still think we have a chance. We just really need to hone into what our skills are. I think, Austin, we're almost there. We're literally right at the cusp. We just gotta execute.
Hmm.
We gotta do the little things. That is what's gonna make the bigger things happen for us, and that's W's.
So America's game of the week next week. We got the 1-4 Raiders versus the 1-3-1 Texans. Obviously a must win for the Raiders, Tyler. But let's get into some other games. Do you want to recap the games this past weekend? Do you want to get
Oh
in
yeah.
predictions? Okay, so this past weekend, obviously, you got your clip. I'm gonna go into mine. I woke up barely even like 6 hours of sleep. Um, 6 a.m. West Coast time. Packers in London. I'm thinking, all right, Rodgers, he's gonna go off, right? He's got that whole like EU look going on. He's obsessed with Ted Lasso. He's gonna put on for the people. What happens? They go out and they lose to the Giants. So hats off to the Giants, right? Dayball, he's been doing a good job with them. But you're playing against Danny Jones that has half of a fucking ankle, and you just let Saquon do whatever he wants. He had his way with you. Um, he's running the ball, and Tyler, I will never get over how you let up a big run play when they're in wildcat formation. It's not like you got someone who's an ex-college quarterback. Like Saquon isn't known for throwing the ball. You know where he's going to go. It's going to be a handoff to Breida, or he's taking it upside in between the tackles. Like they just gashed him. The defense, I don't know. I don't know how much longer I can defend them. I thought they were going to be one of the best in the league. They did a good job against the Bucks. You know, Brady had a hurt receiving core, so I don't know if that even counts. But you go out, you give up 27 points against the Giants, and I don't care, Tyler, if they're 4-1 or if they're 5-0. They're still the Newark Football Giants. They're still a dog shit organization. The Packers, prestigious Titletown, USA. You're gonna go out there. Listen, the only thing I can take away from this game is maybe the Packers are like petitioning, hey, we don't want to play any more overseas games. We're going to go out here and lose, and then we're going to make a big issue about it, and then we don't have to play overseas. That's fine. I did look, they ended up giving up away a home game. They were technically the home team in
Yeah.
this one. So that sucks because anytime you give up true home field advantage,
In
obviously
Lambeau.
there was a mixed crowd going on over there at the I think it was the Tottenham Hotspurs
Yep.
stadium.
Yep.
I don't know. Jair, he's playing through an injury. The line is all banged up. Bakhtiari plays almost every snap. Last week he comes in and they say they're splitting snaps, but he was on the sidelines uh, more than he was in the game. I mean, shit, Tyler. The Giants are over there getting jerked off on the sidelines, and they're out here beating the Packers.
Yeah, how I knew it was over, Austin, was Saquon Barkley running out of the tunnel like it's fucking Forrest Gump. Guy gets injured, goes into the medical staff. comes back out and he's fucking running wildcat like he's Michael Vick. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, any guy that comes out of the tunnel injured, running wildcat, game's over. It was all Giants at that point. Really put a gashing into the Packers, kind of feelings. So
They
it
had
was,
they had a fucking bailout. The guy on the punt, the Giants guy, accidentally touched it. All they had to do was recover it. I don't know how much time was left. I think they could have just ran the ball. Obviously, at that point in the game, AJ Dillon's going to be wearing down the defense. He was getting positive yards, falling forward all game. They move up, Mason Crosby, game-winning field goal, game over. But what happens? Dude, I don't understand it. People in the NFL, they're so good at everything except recovering fumbles. Like
yeah,
back in, I remember vividly, we would do this in preseason for high school JV football. We would do fumble drills. You would go one on one. You would try to get the fumble. It's like there's fucking butter lathered all over this football. I don't understand. They have the highest technology gloves. I mean, are they just moving too fast? I don't understand it. It's like they're playing hot potato with it every time they try to recover a fumble.
well, I think a lot of it is most of the time they're looking at it as just a play that's happening, and they don't expect it to come out of the every single play that you're on the field. Coach O'Connor said it best. Varsity football. You have to pretend like the what's gonna happen is gonna happen, right? So you have to think that that guy's gonna drop that ball. I'm ready to get that fumble recovery. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, the Packers weren't ready for that, and that's what cost them the game. I mean, they pick up that fumble recovery. Fumble recovery. What happens, Austin? They win that game.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean,
basically,
it's
Rodgers
like
gets the
it's
ball
like
on
if the
like
Raiders
the other
fucking kick that
30.
field goal instead of going for two, they're going into overtime.
Yeah, so Packers sitting at 3-2 right now, game back of the Vikings in the division. They have a favorable next two games. Home against the Jets, then they're at the Commanders. A little bit of tune-up time, if you will. They got to figure some stuff out. Rodgers still doesn't look fully comfortable with the receivers. Dobbs wasn't as active as he was in the prior week. But then before that, or after that rather, they go into Buffalo for a Sunday night game against the Bills. I don't know, Tyler. That one should be a shootout. Packers haven't been doing that well for some reason. They have always the worst red zone offense in football. They can move the ball up and down the field the whole time, just can't put the ball in the end zone. So I don't feel good about that one. Big Jeff and Hannah are going to be at that game. Maybe we can get a little bit of
Oh,
family good luck charm. But yeah, after that they got Lions, Cowboys, Titans, Eagles would be a good one. Bears, Rams, Dolphins, Vikings, Lions. So I still like our chances, obviously at the playoffs. NFC's a little bit shaky, so wild card should be easy. The division's obviously still in reach, but they got to figure some stuff out. I mean, if I'm them, I would be full on 100 B and OC pursuing Odell Beckham. We saw what he did last year for the Rams when he was healthy. I think he can come back and be a big, crucial part of that offense and a much needed weapon for Aaron Rodgers.
yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers. It's obvious at the end of the day, he needs a guy that he could trust. After losing Devontae, it's obvious that he's kind of throwing the ball and he like, I hope he catches it, or I hope this guy comes down with it, or I hope something happens. He doesn't have that guy like Devontae Adams. Yeah, Randall Cobb's great, and Dobbs is playing a lot better. Imagine he had a guy like Odell Beckham that could literally he could throw it up and this guy could catch it down. I
Yeah.
think if there's a spot for Odell Beckham, it's in Green Bay. I mean, like honestly, it's
If I'm
wide open.
OBJ and
You're wide receiver one at the end of the day.
everyone's saying he's going to go back to the Rams, they saved
No
his
shot.
locker.
No shot.
But if I'm looking
Why?
at these two teams, I see a struggling Rams team with Stafford that's definitely not fully healthy, and a
Right.
Packers team that's literally missing one like offensive weapon, wide receiver. They have a great rushing attack. The defense is good. Obviously, like a little bit, I'm still gonna try to help out the defense a little bit for the Packers. Rodgers and that offense just don't have time of possession. The defense, they get off, they don't get that long of a break. They got to go right back on the field. I think I want to say there was one drive late in the game where the Packers got the ball back and they're three and out. They abandoned the run, three incomplete passes. It was like a 30-second drive. I mean, you just can't do that. Obviously, I would say the best duo rushing attack in the game with Dillon and Jones. You got to utilize them. It was working earlier in the game. They're up 10 at halftime. I they didn't score any points in the second half. Like I don't expect how you can win football games with that kind of performance.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that we've learned in this NFL season, it's you're going to be successful in this NFL season if you establish the run and you continue to establish the run even when it's the fourth quarter. I mean, the Raiders, Josh Jacobs was running the ball 20 yards down the field because the Chiefs were expecting the pass, and then Josh Jacobs would come in, slash him, gash for about 14 yards. So you can't just abandon the run, especially when you got two guys like AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones. You just can't.
Preach. Speaking of rushing the ball, we'll get into another game. We have Chargers 30, Browns 28. I mean, Nick Chubb, he's got to be arguably the best running back in football right now. The guy, every time he touches the ball, you think he's gonna, break through that offensive line and just go for a long run. Obviously, Chargers come out victorious. Browns had an opportunity, missed a field goal in the last few seconds, but everyone wants to blame the kicker. Doesn't come down to one play. And also, how can you be mad at a guy that you signed that week and this was his first NFL experience? Um, I don't know.
Can't take away from Chubb. I mean, you gotta say Eckler on the other end when you're talking about the Chargers finally having his come out game of the season. A lot of reception touchdowns, a lot of touching the ball. I should say the guy was electric this game, playing the electric guitar as he was going into the end zone multiple of times as he took over the game and beat the Browns.
Mm. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously Herbert seems like he's still dealing with that injury. Um, you know, 22 for 34, 228 and a tutty. Just, an average game. Didn't do anything too flashy. Although over half of his passing yards went to Mike Williams, who looked phenomenal. 10 receptions, 134. Chargers, I'm still not sure about them, Tyler. A couple big losses with Slater and Bosa. Slater's out for the season. I think Bosa might come back at
That's the
some
one thing
point.
I hate, Austin. The Raiders faced the Chargers first week of the season. Now the Chargers are going through all their fucking withdrawals with fucking Keenan Allen out, Justin Herbert injured, Joey Bosa injured, or yeah, is it Joey Bosa?
Joey, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
the my little, what do they call it, mnemonic device is Joey and Nick Bosa. I Nick is north, so San Francisco north of Los Angeles. That's how I use it. Um, but yeah, no, like you said, earlier pre-show, I think it's like if you had played literally anyone else in fantasy, you would have won. But that's just the way it shakes out sometimes. They got a Raiders week one got a fully healthy Chargers team. They're obviously banged up now. Would have been a little bit different probably if they had played the Chargers tonight instead of the Chiefs.
right. Yeah. I mean, if everything was perfect in the world, the Raiders would be 17-0, but they're not gonna ever probably.
No
Um,
time soon, that's for sure.
no time soon, and I mean I'm fine with that. I just want a good, clean game at the end of the day. I just want a game that we're gonna be able to compete in. I want $100. Okay, but the Raiders lost. I don't feel good about that.
Just hoping everyone has fun.
Vegas gave fucking Kansas City 7 points. 7 points. I took 7.5, and I came out victorious.
Should have taken the alternate spread for 4. Um, but speaking of having
Four for
fun,
double.
no, I was saying just a 4-point spread instead of 7.5. You would have got better odds. one game and one team that did not have fun this past weekend, the Detroit Lions. They get shut out by the Patriots, Tyler. Am I surprised they lost? Not really. Pats played pretty well against the Packers. I don't know. Maybe Zappy is the guy. He's definitely playing well for being this early on in his career. The Lions went in this game, Tyler. I think they had the highest scoring offense in football. They get shut out. Belichick has a classic Belichick game. They run the ball. Ramondre Stevenson went for 161 yards. Zappy 17 for 21, 188, a touchdown interception. Pretty consistent. That's pretty
Yeah.
good for a guy who's in his technically his first NFL start. Um, I think we're all still on that hard knocks honeymoon, rooting for the Lions, thinking they're good. They're putting up points against bad teams, but I don't know. I think we're inching closer and closer to a Dan Campbell firing as we see Matt Rule get fired from Carolina. You can only give a guy so many opportunities.
A sad day when Dan Campbell gets injured or gets fired. I've been saying that in the No Look podcast since week one. It's going to be a very sad day. We inch closer. You're absolutely right, Austin. But what goes into this is Bill Belichick defensive preparation is at an all-time high. Knows his quarterback goes down, his backup quarterback goes down. Bailey Zappi comes in. Is he the Tom Brady 2.0? We don't know. I'll take it.
Yeah.
He won the game 29-0. Incredible fashion. Going up against the Detroit Lions, no DeAndre Swift, no Amon-Ra St. Brown. You love to see it. But at the end of the day, you got to credit the defense where credit is due, and that's where it's due. Bailey Zappi at the end of the day, 29 points. He put up that many points. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Hey,
are
don't look
are we
now.
witnessing a new franchise, though? Are we witnessing a new Tom Brady-esque franchise from here on out? I guess only next week will tell.
Yeah, I mean, as they say, Tom Brady was a system quarterback, so pretty much you can plug and play. We saw Mac Jones be successful. Now we see Bailey Zappi. So, don't count the Patriots. We'll see what happens. Jets look a little frisky. Dolphins don't look great without Tua. So we'll see what happens there. Tyler, next game, I don't have much to say about. 13, Texans 13, Jaguars 6. My only takeaway is Damian Pierce is a hell of a football player. This
Oh,
guy
yeah.
can run the rock.
Yeah, I mean, second week in a row where he's rushed for a touchdown that's just
He had
you're
a
like,
he had a Madden-esque play where he's like bouncing off guys, breaking tackles. You thought he was gonna go down like 5 times. This guy is clearly a stud.
yeah, I mean, this guy is clearly the next Arion Foster for this team, where he's going to be a starting running back for the years on to come. He's been playing well. Last week he played well. He had a big touchdown. This week he's playing well. It's only going to go up from here for Damian Pierce. I think he's the running back of the future for the Texans. Now, the biggest thing with the Texans is if they can supply guys around him. Obviously they have Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins, whatever the case may be. But you're not going to win fucking games, Texans, with Davis Mills. So you got to figure it out and put guys in front of him that's going to win games. But a big win for the Texans, Austin, against the Jaguars, who have been mildly hot
Hmm.
this fall season.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just like fool's gold, but Lawrence comes out 25 for 47, 286, 2 interceptions. Etienne or Etten, I don't even know. I'm terrible with names, as we all know. He had a decent game, 10 touches for 71 yards. Marvin Jones, 7 receptions for 104. I don't want to talk about that game anymore. But moving on, Tyler, and this was the title.
Anything
The
past a
title,
sentence with the Texans versus the Jaguars,
yeah.
more than enough.
Wow, Jaguars have more wins right now than the Raiders, so I don't know.
Oh my God. Check the schedules. Put them back to back.
Let's see.
Jaguars, we got you in a few weeks and I'll be there in Jacksonville. I'm driving up. Don't fucking, You don't have to worry about that. That's one game I'll be at.
Get
No
this
look
man
podcast.
some keys.
I'll put that in the fucking in. Yo, Watson, what's up? It's Tyler from fucking No Look Podcast in Jacksonville's fucking parking lot. Fuck Travis Lawrence,
Trevor Lawrence.
whatever
He,
his name
I think
is.
he just made a new person. He combined Travis Scott and Trevor Lawrence. It's lit.
Is that?
Tyler, interesting game. I was gonna say that inspired my title for the stream tonight. I said roughing the passer. Bucks win over the Falcons 21-15. I don't know, obviously there's been a lot of rules put in place to protect the quarterback. Brady, you want to call him the LeBron of the NFL with the calls he gets, especially late in the games. But I want to say this was third down, incomplete pass. I think the Falcons were going to get the ball back with a chance. Now, it is the Falcons going against the Bucks defense. Would they have scored? Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, we got to get way more consistent with these roughing the passer calls. You can't hit him in the face. And, there's the old Kevin Hart bit, right, where they lay him on the ground with the pillow and they're like, oh, is this how you're supposed to sack the quarterback? I think maybe. We saw it tonight with Carr, another questionable roughing the passer call, which obviously was in your favor, so I'm sure you're not too upset about. But if you're a defensive player, how are you supposed to sack the quarterback? You can't hit him in the head. You can't go below the knees. The Brady hit, yeah, he might have thrown him to the ground a little hard, but that's just a little something called momentum. Like all these referees forgetting physics class. You get a D lineman, 350 coming in full speed. He wraps the guy up. His body's going to keep going, which in turn makes the other player that he's grabbing onto go down half as fast. It's like a pendulum. He's whipping him in the ground. I just don't understand. And I think this has to be a conversation in the NFL office this week because if they're going to keep calling it like this, might as well just play 7-on-7.
No, I mean, Austin, I agree with you. At the end of the day, a lot of people are saying you might as well put flags on the quarterback for roughing the passer. But I think at the end of the day, maybe we put the roughing the passer into review. And I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it saves a lot of the fans' frustration and time into the further part of the game. A lot of the people were upset at the call with Derek Carr tonight, with the Chiefs what was his name? Christian Jones.
Uh, Chris Jones, right? Is
Chris
that
Jones.
yeah?
Chris Jones sacking Derek Carr, potentially getting the fumble. They called him roughing the passer. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a tough call to make. It's all perspective. A lot of the NFL, I feel like, is going after the quarterback and protecting the quarterback. So they don't know where to call it. So maybe we should, call into New York and say, hey, is this a roughing the passer? I'd be fine with that. I'm sick of the excuses of saying the game would have changed if, this was all different. The game wouldn't have changed. All right? Let's put it that way. Tom Brady would have got sacked, would have got, don't even worry about roughing the passer. The Falcons still would have lost that game against the Bucks.
Well,
Let's be honest.
wasn't
Let's
it
be honest.
wasn't it the like same exact thing? Like the way it happened, it was like almost identical to the Tua sack. And if I'm remembering correctly, that wasn't even a passer or roughing the passer call.
Right.
Tua got his fucking brains turned into scrambled eggs. So that's when you go back and look at it and say, well, it's Tom Brady. He's getting these calls like other guys, that other guys aren't.
And that Tua game, Austin, has been so crucial to where the NFL has gone in the past few weeks with this guy has a concussion, he's out for the next game because,
Mm-hmm.
this guy got up, fucking limping around like a newborn deer, like he's Bambi. Like, let's look at this game by game, which might not be a bad idea, but you're absolutely right. Tom Brady's call, it's kind of up in the air. The call with Derek Carr today, up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, results are the results are the results. I feel like everything would have happened how they would have happened regardless.
Yeah.
I don't care if the Chiefs would have got the ball at the 50-yard line, would have kicked the field goal, whatever. Fucking, they kicked the field goal that fucking play anyways after they got the ball. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I
I
I
mean,
hear you, honey.
it's
Preaching the choir.
if what's gonna make the fans happy is to do reviewing plays after every roughing the passer, then so be it. I'll still watch the NFL. I'll still love the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the end of the day, protecting the quarterback is the most crucial thing to the NFL because quarterbacks in the league are what bring the revenue to the NFL, and they're the ones that have the ball 50% of the time in the NFL. So
There you go.
I'm behind the quarterbacks, Austin, and then that's where I stand at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we might have to speed rush through a couple games here as we're getting later into the tail end of the podcast. This one, not much to say. Bills 38, Steelers 3. Kenny Pickett, not the answer. Josh Allen, phenomenal. Bills wagon back on a roll.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That yeah.
Yeah, just yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, next one,
I picked the Steelers to lose by over 14. I knew that game was going to be a fucking bum rush. I'm surprised the Bills didn't win by more.
yeah, Pickett's not the answer, and fantasy owners of Najee Harris, like
Pickett may be
myself,
the answer, Austin. He may be the
fucking
answer. He's just a
frustrating.
rookie.
Nah, yeah, it's too early. I don't know. Next game, this one was a little bit surprising. Jets 40, Dolphins 17. Zach
Oh yeah.
Wilson looked pretty good. He's got, phenomenal rushing attack. We got Brees Hall, Michael Carter out of the backfield. Uh, Garrett Wilson, or yeah, no, yeah,
No? Yeah.
Garrett Wilson.
No,
Um,
yeah.
he's looking good. They got some guys. Elijah Moore, Conklin's been playing well. Like I said earlier, Jets are a little frisky, and Dolphins without Tua are a completely different team.
MILF Hunter 2 in Wilson is absolutely killing it this season, putting up a 40 bomb on the Dolphins, who's one of the hottest teams in the AFC right now. Absolutely a stud. Obviously, 2 wasn't playing. Teddy B went down, but big win for the Jets, Austin.
Hmm.
You can't discount 40-17. You can't discount that.
I don't remember. Hell, I don't know if I've ever seen the Jets in my lifetime win by that much.
I've never seen the Raiders win 40-17. So the Jets winning that much, kudos to you.
Yeah. Next game we got Vikings 29, Bears 22. Justin Jefferson phenomenal. Cook had a good game, and Kirk isn't playing bad ball right now as Tyler hits the gritty.
Yeah. I mean, Justin Jefferson obviously coming into his own this game. It just looked like the Bills were, or the Bears, although the Bears, what was the final score?
29-22.
I hit that over, by the way. Or
Mm.
not the over. I hit the money line. I picked the Bears 7.5. Bears hit that. Proud of you, Bears. But Vikings too much, too late. Oh well. I mean, Justin Jefferson, they need to get Dalvin Cook involved. That's the biggest thing in the NFL. Get your running backs involved early and often, and the game will come to you throughout the game. Just trust me. I know I'm just a fucking JV quarterback, but I know how the NFL works.
Hey, I'm sure there's a couple teams, maybe even your favorite team, that could use you on the sideline.
Dude, I'd be up. Let's go, baby. I fucking
And be a little fucking spark plug on there running up and down. You could be the
I'd
guy. You can be
Deuce Gruden.
McVay's guy that has to keep him on the sideline.
I'd be Deuce Gruden, bro. You remember Deuce? John Gruden's son. I'd
Kinda.
just be the fucking muscle hamster just on the sideline getting everybody amped up. Like, fuck, ow!
You'd be the smelling salts guy or Zins, whatever their flavor is. Imagine telling someone it was a Zin, but it was a smelling salt. They throw it up.
I'd fucking put 2 Zins in my fucking lip, throw 2 smelling salts up my nose. I'd be I'd be so amped up.
Homeboy be running around like fucking
I'd be zipping,
road
I'd be
runner.
beelining, bro. They'd be like, "Yo, you want to play safety or what? Throw some pads on this guy."
He moving so fast, couldn't even see his feet. They'd just be a blur.
Oh my god, I wouldn't even know what's up and what's down.
Next game, kind of an ugly game. Titans 21, Commanders 17. Not very convincing win for the Titans, Tyler, against, one of the worst teams in the
One
NFL.
question, Austin: how many rushing yards did Henry have?
I know he had 2 touchdowns. He had 102 rushing
Thanks. That's
yards.
all I need to know. Titans get fucking Henry 100 plus rushing yards, you'll win the game. Game over.
Mm. Game over, conversation over, because that was not a fun game. A little bit better of a game. Saints 39, Seahawks 32. I mean, for what it was, Andy Dalton versus Geno Smith, this was pretty entertaining. DK had some nice plays. Taysom Hill,
MVP.
phenomenal. He should just win the most improved player every year because he went from Packers like backup kick returner to now, a fortified star quarterback slash tight end slash running back. It's just a fucking Swiss Army knife. The guy's just balling. Saints again, don't know what to make of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, half their team is always injured. Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara. You don't know who's going to play. Taysom Hill really stepping up this week. The QB tight end slash fucking kick returner slash whatever. The guy has to be the most elite player, all around player in the NFL. If they had an all around player in the NFL, player of the year or whatever the fuck you would name it, Taysom Hill. Every single year, this guy comes out, finds a way to make a difference in the game when you least expect it. I didn't start him in my fantasy league this week. I don't think it would have made a difference, but he scored 30 points. The guy's a fucking stud.
Tyler, with Christian McCaffrey having kind of a lackluster year, I might have to go ahead and nominate Taysom Hill for my MAWB award.
What's that?
Most athletic white boy.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
You endorse me for that
I
take?
endorse you. No Look Podcast endorses Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill podcast. Let's go, Taysom.
I
Uh,
mean, Taysom Hill is a handsome ass white boy too. Let's not get twisted. Guys out of BYU. He fucks with multiple women. Shout out that. I fuck with that. I'm here for you.
is that what you do? Is that whoa? Breaking news! Breaking news!
Absolutely not. But I fuck
The
with
man,
it.
goddamn, of the No Look podcast fucks with multiple women.
I fuck with it, but I don't do it myself. Taysom Hill, you're a fucking stud. I love you. Next week, I'm not gonna make the mistake of not starting you.
All right. Um, you said he's handsome. I don't know how handsome he is. He's nothing compared to Jimmy G. Next game we got 49ers 37, Panthers 15. Tyler, Niners, they may have the best defense in football, and that's pretty much their identity year in, year out. Jimmy G, he does enough. I thought this was going to be George Kittle's game. He started that opening drive, had like 3 catches, ended the game with like 4 catches. Jeff Wilson, excuse me, Tevin Coleman, Debo Samuel, they got guys. If they,
Mm-hmm.
if they just can scheme around their guys and not ask too much of Jimmy G, this is pretty much the same team of the 49ers that made it to the Super Bowl. Obviously, they looked great against the Panthers, arguably one of the best team or one of the worst teams, if not the worst in football. They go ahead and they fire their coach Matt Rule, who they had signed to I think it was like a 7-year crazy $1 million contract. Um, Baker's ass, he gets hurt. Sam Darnold, I don't know what his deal is. If he played this week, I didn't even watch that game, or if he's gonna come back. But Niners top of the division in the AFC West, so look out.
NFC.
NFC West.
Yeah, I mean, Niners are looking pretty decent. Um, I think a lot of it goes into who they're facing, though. The Panthers are so bad that it makes the Niners look that good. Um, I don't think the Niners are that good. I think the Panthers are just that bad. Matt Rule going out, kind of a sacrifice, a scapegoat, if you will, for the Panthers. You don't love to see it. I think they have a lot of good options with them, just not executed properly. If I'm the Panthers going forward, focus defensively. I think a lot of their problems are coming with they have some good options defensively, but they don't have enough. Uh, Baker Mayfield, definitely not the option. I mean, I don't think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL, Austin. I think he's a great college football quarterback, and that's about it. But I wouldn't say he's a starting quarterback. So the Panthers are kind of in that limbo stage throughout the rest of the season. What do we do? I don't know what to do. Uh, they're going for that first round draft pick at the end of the season. If I'm being honest, that's where you're going from here on
Yeah,
out. And this game pretty much proved it, especially with firing your head coach.
yeah. No, I think we're gonna be seeing some rebuilding, some major rebuilding out of the Panthers. Next game, Tyler, Eagles 20, Cardinals 17. Cardinals, they're pretty scrappy in this one, but the Eagles come out on top, the only undefeated team still in the NFL. They're playing good ball. Obviously, I think the Cardinals they will be okay. I forget. I think they have the Seahawks next week. They should be able to win that. Then they get DeAndre Hopkins back, so we'll see what they can do after then. But yeah, Eagles looking good. Hurts playing solid football.
I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it, Austin. Hurts MVP of this season.
Hmm.
He is looking like a bona fide MVP, not only passing but also rushing the football. He is making great decisions as the quarterback of the Eagles, and it is showing undefeated, even beating a great Cardinals defensive team.
Yeah. Obviously, if you factor in the rushing, because right now passing this season, he only has 1,300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Um, but rushing the ball, I don't have a total. But anyways, I think
Decent enough.
yeah, a few hundred yards, and he's got six rushing touchdowns. So he's got more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns. I don't know if that quite makes him an MVP, but it makes him a solid starter in Philadelphia. Another interesting one: Cowboys 22, Rams 10. Cowboys got a great defense, Tyler. They run the ball well. You saw Pollard doing his thing. Zeke, they had him going on late in the game when they just needed to get a few yards here and there. They didn't want to risk fumbling the ball. CeeDee Lamb a star, and Cooper Rush moves on to 5-0 as a starter.
Play the hot hand. Cooper Rush is your starter from here on out. I don't care how good Dak Prescott is, how his hand is doing. You play the hot hand, Austin. You don't let Dak Prescott take away from Cooper Rush's success. Tony Pollard, Zeke Elliott, rushing tandem. Get the ball to CeeDee Lamb. Get the ball to your starters. And let the defense eat. Micah Parsons, former Penn State great, might I add you, playing great. I think a lot of it has to come from the Rams not playing that well on offense. Matthew Stafford looking hurt. Their offensive line can't get to protecting the quarterback. So Cowboys come out with this. I think the Cowboys are, on the right track as long as they keep Cooper Rush in the game, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care who it is, Tyler. If you got a guy and he's undefeated, you got to see what
Just play the
happens.
fucking
I
guy.
mean, yeah.
Undefeated, bro. Play the high hand.
A
That's
lot
like
of it is,
that's like you hit red on fucking roulette 6 times in a row. You gonna play fucking black?
yeah,
No. Keep playing that red.
maybe. But
Maybe. I mean maybe.
well, that'll be an interesting conversation. You can tell Dak is like
He's primed to go.
happy, not happy because they're winning, but at the same time he knows that
He's ready to go.
his career is in
He's ready
question.
to go.
Last game we got the night game from Sunday. Ravens 19, Bengals 17. I'm hitting the panic button for the Bengals on this one,
Me
Tyler,
too.
and it's not because they lost this game. The Ravens are a solid football team. Lamar Jackson, I think he's might be my MVP as far as at this point through the season. But the Bengals just don't look good. You and I, we talked about they brought in these new offensive linemen. Where have they been at? Joe Burrow, I feel like he's on the ground more time than he's standing up in the pocket. Chase has been non-existent, as I know firsthand with him being on my fucking fantasy football team that Tyler trade R word me. Um, I don't know. Joe Mixon, I knew he wasn't gonna have a good follow-up season to last year. The defense is suspect. Like, yeah, you held Lamar to in the Ravens to 19 points, but at the same time, they who was it? Duvernay was like their top wide receiver. Obviously, they have Mark Andrews. I'm worried about the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals are a team to worry about, though. T. Higgins obviously went down in this game, so they only had Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd. Jamar Chase caused a lot of pass interferences. The defense or the Ravens, played very well though and
It
kept
would
up
you
with Jamar
say?
Chase.
Are you calling this an official sophomore slump for Jamar Chase?
I wouldn't say it's a sophomore slump. I just think the Bengals are just not playing well. I think a lot of it has and let me be clear on this. Bengals got a lot of stud offensive linemen. Lyle Collins, Kappa from the Bucks. They got a lot of good guys. Karras, they got a lot of good guys on offensive line that completely changed the dynamic of the team. So now they have a whole new team that probably played for the first time week 1 and is just getting into the groove of things. I think they'll potentially put up a few games where they'll blow out some teams, where they'll beat some teams that a lot of people thought they might not beat, i.e. the fucking Browns, the Ravens, the whoever of the bunch. You got to trust the process at the end of the day. The
Mm-hmm.
Raiders, i.e., just rushed for 175 yards with Josh Jacobs. I never thought they would have done that with the offensive line that they had, but you got to trust the process. We just got a new coach. We're learning a new offense. And the same thing is going with the Bengals. You have to understand this. The Bengals are on a slow progress up where I don't know if the Ravens are going to be on that path. So I
Mm-hmm.
think the Ravens are on the same path as the Bengals. Those are the only teams to watch out of the AFC North.
All right. Quick little game before we sign off, Tyler. I'm gonna rapid fire. I want you to
Rapid,
say who
rapid.
you think at this point in the season. Who's your prediction to win each division? So we'll start with the AFC East, which is Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
Bills.
AFC West,
Oh, I hate this. Chiefs.
AFC
Seventh in a row.
AFC North, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers.
Who's in first right now?
Ravens.
I'm gonna go Bengals.
All right. As you just said, you're hitting the panic button. AFC South, Titans, Colts, Jags, Texans.
Titans.
NFC East, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders.
Cowboys.
NFC West, Niners, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks.
Niners.
NFC North, Vikings, Packers, Bears, Lions.
Packers.
NFC South, Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
Bucks. Easy.
Clip it, ship it. Those are Tyler's predictions through week 5 of who he thinks is going to win each division. That's all I got, honey. Sorry for your loss. And yeah, hopefully the Raiders can bounce back next week against the Texans.
I think they will. I want $100 though. Just saying. If
that,
there's
that
any
that's a
positives
bright
to this,
point.
if there's any positives to this, I could pay my HOA fee through my community
Hmm.
because the Raiders lost tonight and I bet 7.5. So gotta
Well,
love it. What are you playing tonight?
probably just do a little short Apex stream.
Fuck Apex.
All right. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with Monday Night Gaming.